What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We're going to talk today about this Moducase, and I'm going to tell you in the words of my mother, what my mother used to tell me, this is a story that doesn't quit. I've got some video footage and stuff. Of course, we're going to show off the display, but I want to tell this story. Originally, I was going to do like an assembly tutorial, but there ended up being too many kind of hitches in the giddy up, as it were, so it kind of prevented me from doing that. I think you'll understand as we continue. So, about 2 years ago, my buddy Joe, 2.5 years ago, I think at this point, my buddy Joe, Uncle Dolphin, co-host of Nerd Rage Radio, found this company called Moducase. And he liked their designs and he liked how they were kind of doing business, so he hit them up and he ordered, I think, one. He just wanted to test it, you know what I mean? It came in, he tested it, he loved it. He actually was going to Japan, he left it here while I was having Skullfest so people could check it out, and people walked in and kind of eyed it up. And a lot of smart people in the room, a lot of crafty people in the room, and some of them were like, you know, could we do this ourselves? And you know what I mean? There was a lot of talk, right? People talk. And we decided that we probably could do it, but probably not for much cheaper. And I'm using we very loosely, just being honest here. So around the same time, looking at Joe's collection and some of the stuff that Joe was getting and being inspired, I decided that one of the last kind of frontiers I wanted to look at was this quarter scale stuff. These large scale statues. But if I was going to get them, I was going to need a place for them. And the only person I feel like that kind of cracked that code was Joe. Now, I've seen people use them for 1/6 stuff. I've seen people use them poorly for everything. But I've seen people use them for 1/6 stuff. Caleb, shout out to Caleb. He has a great collection of Star Wars Hot Toys and random other assortments in his Moducases. He submitted to the dummy, so we'll get to him eventually. So I was talking to my wife. The problem on my end is my wife is a huge statue fan. And the last thing I need is somebody telling me I should buy something. Especially someone that's in my home that I love dearly and that I want to make happy. So she mapped out this space in my basement where she was like, look, it would be perfect here and we wouldn't have to have it custom made. It's kind of just, it was made to go here. So I contacted Moducase, who I had spoken to a few times because I did a video on Joe's Moducase not too long ago. And I made an order. And I think it was supposed to take 6 months. This is Black Friday of last year. And then February and March hit and we get the Bud Ice virus. And the reason why I call it the Bud Ice virus, for those that are new here, is because when I call it the other name, YouTube demonetizes my videos. So we started calling it the Bud Ice virus. Growing up, we didn't drink that other beer. I quite enjoy them now, from time to time. And long story short, my Moducase was drastically delayed. Pretty much doubled the time. I think it was supposed to take 6 months, it ended up taking a year. And it arrived. And when it arrived, Joe took one look at the boxes, because he was going to help me assemble it, and he was like, I think this is wrong. And I said, what? There's no way. It took a year, like this has been a whole thing. There's no way the fates would put me through this. And he said, well, let's put it together, but I'm pretty sure this is wrong. So we started putting it together, and it was wrong. We built, the ones that I got, I think are the Max series, and I got basically 6 cases with shelving units to turn the bigger ones into 2, so it ends up being 9 display spaces. And basically, I got shorted an acrylic piece. So I contacted Moducase, and I was like, look, I'm missing this piece. He said, rebox the whole thing. I'm sending you a shipping label right now. Send it back. A new one is on its way from California. Cool. It comes in. I put it together. Well, actually, my wife has Joe come over and put it together one day when I was at work as like a surprise for me, which was very kind of both of them, and neither of them had to do it. And the front plexiglass piece was broken. So I contacted Moducase again, and Moducase said, a new one is being airmailed to you right now. And then he asked me, do you have any other issues? And I said, well, I have one. I tore a piece of felt on one of the display boards while I was installing a shelf. It's totally my fault. It's on me. And he said, please let me send you a replacement for that too, since I'm already sending you something, and make your whole situation good to go on him. And I said, sure. And he sent it. And I say all that to say this. It's done now, and I'm going to show it here shortly. I say all that to say this. It was a trying year. It was probably not the best year to order this. It ended up taking a lot longer than either of us, I think, thought. Because of all the circumstances, it was kind of a pain, right? I had 2 pieces that had to be replaced. But I want to go out on a limb and say this. Aside from Nordstrom and maybe GoDaddy as a website provider, I have never had customer service that was this good. This is the best customer service, at least top 3, if not top 2, I've ever had in my life, of which I've had 40 years of at this point. Top 3. So I can't recommend him enough in that regard if you like the style and you're patient. One other thing that I did was I had one piece of plywood sitting around that my daughter had used for a like grounding board for her beam. She had like a beam thing. It was for gymnastics, one of the many things that she got into and got out of. But my wife kept it. I cut that down to size and painted it black, and then I put it up on top of the Moducase for like another display space and drilled holes in it and installed Northfly lights from IKEA to shine up. So that's the only thing I added to it. And now let's walk it through and talk it through. So it's the first thing you see when you come down my steps into my basement. And I'll kind of show you what I got going on here. So I'm going to be very selective in my pieces, and I'm really looking to kind of capture characters that I love and franchises that I love. So I love the X-Men. Gambit and Rogue are probably my two favorites. Probably with Gambit being my first, and then Rogue, and then Wolverine and Psylocke probably. But and Archangel would be in there too. But obviously there's not room for all that. I might get a Wolverine, and if he's like a crouching one, maybe right here or something, but I'd have to see it. This one here is my Star Wars, and it's just Leia, Han, and Chewie, and I'm good there. Those are my threesome right there, so to speak. And then Baroness and Evelyn. The Han, Chewie, and Leia are all Sideshow Premium format. The Rogue is Sideshow Premium format. The Gambit is XM. And that's a whole other story if you've been listening to Nerd Rage. But then I got Sideshow Premium format Baroness and Sideshow's 1/5. I think it was Sideshow's Evelyn. I got it from Sideshow either way. With the more cartoon deco, which is not necessarily even my preference, but it was what was left in stock. So that's going there. And I'm going to put more kind of ladies of my childhood that had a big influence, I'll say, on the man I became. And then I got some empty spaces here to fill, right? A little bit of room for expansion. I have this Star Wars Mythos Vader that we looked at the other day briefly. And I'm not sure if that's going to be his final place or not. My goal one day is to get the Imaginary Arts Grimlock, and he will go here. And down here, I have the Imaginary Arts Soundwave with Rat Bat and the tapes. And this actually I had some issues with, but that's for another day. But when we put it in here, empty cube. I got a lot of DC stuff I want to put in there. I also have a Daenerys from Game of Thrones statue coming. And let's look up top. So that board is what everything is sitting on. I got my Ewok Village from my childhood. Just some big ships. And I don't know if this will be the final resting place for all this stuff, but the Naboo canoe, which has kind of become a joke at my house. The Millennium Falcon that I had as a kid. And I think Famba? Something like that. That was an FAO Schwarz, I think, exclusive from Phantom Menace. And then there's a ATST and a TIE Fighter up in there somewhere. I got my mask on, so forgive me. And yeah, that's it. So, long time coming. It does come with the lights and the shelves. These three are the bigger cases, and then you can adjust the shelves wherever you want them. Forgive me, I don't know if this is even in focus, but you can adjust the shelves wherever you want them and kind of go from there. And look, I have a lot of mixed feelings wrapped up in this because of the kind of experience, but as it's filling in, it's becoming something that I love. And if you like have big stuff, I mean, I think even combiners and stuff, and you know, if Fans Toys ever did that, Fort Max would probably look great in there. But even if you're not into that, if you're into bigger scale stuff, I can strongly recommend it because, for one, the materials are great, the setup is great, and the customer service, like I said, is just top 3 I've ever dealt with in my life, which is saying something because I'll get to the bottom of it. You know, I expect a certain level of customer service. So, yeah, all the social media and website and everything to Moducase will be in the description if you're interested. Hit them up, tell them Scully sent you. You know, I'm not getting any promotion out of this. I don't have room for any more Moducases, so I'm not looking to get anything else. Just would like them to know that that's where you came from. And yeah, that's it.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching Something Light for a Sunday. I'm putting this under Bob the Builder, even though Joe built most of it. Love you, Joe. Till next time, take care.